What is good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. First off, I want to say thank you to everyone for your love, support, and feedback in the comments. I've been seeing some people say that when it comes to a lot of these comedians, I'm doing the same stuff as the other reactors are. I'm sorry, which I didn't know about because I don't watch other reactors like that. And the past couple days, I did a little bit of research on other reactors that are also doing comedy. And I did notice everybody's doing Bill Burr, women with the WNBA. They're all doing and the same George Carlin ones, the same Louis C.K. ones, the same Bill Burrs. They're all doing the same stuff, the same Family Guy reactions, all that stuff. So I was like, I forget the guy's name who commented it, but he brought it to my attention. And he is absolutely right. You know who you are. You're absolutely right. So he gave me a bunch of good suggestions in the comments to look into. So I was able to find a vinyl rip of a really old George Carlin for today. It's a whole album, but I'm gonna do a video per track on the album. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's gonna be like 7 videos, 7 different videos. So it's not like a whole 40-some minute video. But that's how I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep doing the comedy that people like. I'm gonna try to get to all the comedy everybody wants. You guys got to understand. I have a list of like almost 150 to 200 suggestions. It's kind of overwhelming. I don't really know how to handle the suggestions like that. I'm trying to get to what everyone wants, but I might set something up like a Patreon or something for like $1. I mean, I hope I don't piss people off, but like. If you pay like $1 for your suggestion, I will absolutely do it. But if you're just suggesting in the comments, I'm gonna try my best to get to it, but I can't make any promises anymore because it started off real small. It was a couple suggestions and it just grew so big. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up a Patreon. It's only gonna be like $1. You just pay like $1. If you put your suggestion in and you pay the $1, I will absolutely do your suggestion. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. But you can still make suggestions in the comments. It's just I don't know when I'll get to it. But if you pay the $1, I will make sure that your video will be up within like a day or two of you putting it in on the Patreon. So with that being said. I found the vinyl rip of Burns and Carlin. It's George Carlin, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know what this guy Burns' first name is, but it's at the Playboy Club tonight, and we're going to do the first track on the album. So this is Burns and Carlin, Mother's Club. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Thank you. My name is Jack Burns. This is my partner, Mr. George Carlin.
Jack Burns.
If there are 2 things in life that we as individuals, George and myself, dislike intensely, one of them is the jelly you'll find on the other side of the soap if you leave it in the dish overnight. The other, women's clubs. My feelings were engendered by the fact that my mother, a wonderful woman, was president of a women's club while I was growing up. As I say, she was wonderful, but slightly misguided. She was fighting for recognition of Red China. This was in '38. So we'd like to show you now a meeting of the Southgate Mothers Club on a Monday afternoon.
I'd like to welcome you all to the Southgate Mothers Club. Before we start the usual business on the agenda, I want that all of you should observe a moment of silence and compassion for Mrs. Tompkins.
Yo, that's got to be George Carlin. Is that him talking? What that voice?
Silence and compassion for Mrs. Tompkins. Mrs. Tompkins' kid, Humberto, was picked up this morning on a murder one rap. Now we know that Mrs. Tompkins has not had a lot of time to spend at home with her kids. She's been very busy on the Juvenile Delinquency Committee. All right, now to the usual business. First of all, a report on next weekend's activities from our next weekend's activities reporter. Very happy to have Agnes once again. Here she is, Agnes once again.
Thank you very much, Miss President. Well, of course, next weekend is our annual fudge fair. Now, we hold the fudge fair each year at this time to gather enough money to get the needy children of the neighborhood out of the neighborhood for the summer. If it were possible, we'd like to get them out for the winter, too. Now, I found a lovely tract of land that we can establish our summer camp on, and I think we could fill it with ropes and boards, an abandoned icebox or two, some plastic bags, and they can play to their little ethnic heart's content. Now, another little bonus, the edge of the Southgate River runs right near the camp, except during flood season, then it inundates the camp. The camp will be held during flood season this year. So that's it, and I would like to remind you girls, fudge.
I think it behooves us all to get out and push the fudge. The next of all, we got a book review by a very well-known book reviewer in this area, Miss Thelma Reese from the Van Nuys Times. Here she is, Thelma.
She's wonderful.
Thank you very much. Books live. Books are vibrant and alive. Now, the book I have chosen to review for you this afternoon is about two brothers. The book is called The Two Brothers. It deals with a set of Siamese twins joined at the lips.
Yo, that would be the worst to be Siamese twins joined at the lips.
These twins joined at the lips. The boys are raised in the dumbwaiter shaft of a home for unwed mothers. After struggling through puberty, the boys are separated following a series of successful operations at the Mayo Clinic. Oh, not the Mayo Clinic, but a clinic run by a Dr. Virginia Mayo, head of a local illegal operation of the Month Club in their neighborhood. Now then, after the operation, the boys move apart. One moves to Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. The other to La Jolla, California. The first portion of the book deals with the letters the boys write to one another. And they do write back and forth and back, one to the other, each to his brother. The first 500 pages of the book drag considerably, but the book ends in a virtual whirlwind of activity as the older brother, Raoul, living in sin with a male model, sends an airmail letter to his brother Congolia, who at that time is gainfully employed as a prompter in a Christian Science reading room in Elsinore, California. Now then, Raoul forgets to put a stamp on the envelope. The letter is returned to him forthwith, and the book ends on that note.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
4 stars.
4 stars.
Thank you very much.
Wait, you said the book dragged for 500 pages and you still gave it 4 stars? What?
Thank you very much, too, Thelma, for a very fine book report. Okay, now to kind of wind things up, and we do want to hustle it along so we can get down to Charlie's before he closes. We got next of all a report on next week's guest speaker. And that, of course, will be reported by our next weekend's guest speaker reporter. Here is Eileen. Eileen.
Thank you very much. Well, next weekend is also our Bonds for Israel weekend. Our guest speaker was to have been a Mr. Adolf Eichmann. However, Mr. Eichmann has an indefinite booking in the Middle East. That's showbiz. So, in his stead, we have a lovely young lady from the State Hygienic Board, Mrs. Phyllis Carswell. Her subject will be sex play among our children between 6 and 9.
Wait,
It will
what?
be sex play among our children.
Sex play amongst children between 6 and 9?
Between 6 and 9.
Is that a pun? Is that a pun like 69? Is that supposed to be a pun?
It will be sex play among our children between 6 and 9. And again between 9 and midnight.
Oh. Oh, they're saying the times. I thought they were talking about the age. Okay, so that's the end of that one. That was Mother's Club, Burns and Carlin. I think this might be his first album. The first album he did. That one, it was funny. It was funny. But you can tell that it's old. It's real old. So, you know, the ones that I had been watching, he had like really refined his craft. He had mastered it at that point. This was still funny, but it's completely different than normal stand-up comedy. This was more like they were kind of doing like little like skits, or not. I don't know if even they were skits, but making just funny scenarios, doing little funny scenarios, not really just like stand-up monologue. Because I'm used to Carlin doing his rapid fire rant type comedy, but this was more like situational comedy, I guess. Almost like it was just kind of like scenario comedy. It was funny though. That was pretty funny. They had some funny parts in it. The Siamese twin boys attached at the lips. But you know, it was still good though. It was still good. This is the beginning of his career, so obviously it's not going to be as good as towards the end of his career when he had been doing it for almost 50 years at that point. I mean, when you do something for 50 years, you're a master at it. It's easy. So I'm gonna keep doing I'm gonna do the rest of the album in the other videos. So, you know, as always, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was a little bit different. It's a lot older comedy, but it was still good. I'm excited to see what the rest of the album has. But anyways, like I said, I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. So, like always, thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. You guys are the best. And I'm going to catch you guys next time.